Today we're taking a close look at the Kinefinity Eagle SDI Viewfinder. And I know what you're thinking, an EVF? Really? But trust me, this little gadget right here is going to change the way you compose your shots. So let's jump in and see why the Kinefinity Eagle SDI EVF might just be your new favorite camera tool. First things first, let's talk about the design. The Kinefinity Eagle SDI EVF is sleek, compact, and honestly, kind of adorable, but don't be fooled by its size. This EVF is solidly built with a nice weight to it that screams durability, but without being a burden on your rig. Plus, it's got that premium feel we've come to expect from Kinefinity. But hey, we're not here to just admire how it looks, we're here to see what it can actually do. Now, translating the experience of using an EVF into video is no easy feat, and while I've done my best to capture it with this B-roll, it still doesn't fully do justice to the insane quality Kinefinity has achieved. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The Eagle SDI EVF sports a crisp 0.7-inch 1920 by 1080 micro OLED display that's so clear you'll start to question why you've been using an external monitor for so long. Seriously, the color accuracy and contrast on this thing are off the charts with a 10,000-to-1 contrast ratio. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that I seriously heart OLED display technology, having recently replaced my old IPS gaming and portable monitors with modern OLED models. Now, for those not up on the latest in display technology, OLED would be an impractical choice for external displays due to its low brightness. But when placed in an EVF housing, OLED is perfect since it allows us to finally see every little detail when shooting in bright sunny conditions due to its high contrast ratio and pure blacks. But what about the refresh rate? Well, in short, it's fast. I don't know about the zero latency claims on the box, but in my testing, it was fast enough to capture my new puppy running around the house. And just in case you're wondering, its anti-fog feature allowed for a clear, uninterrupted view, even as I worked up a sweat, which is pretty awesome, but still not my favorite feature. That honor goes to the adjustable diopter. So whether you're wearing glasses, contacts, or going au natural, you can tweak the focus diopter from +2 to -6. Now, up until this point, the Kinefinity Eagle EVF was checking all the boxes. But when it comes to attaching this EVF to your rig, it's a massive fail, unless you pick up their proprietary mini mount accessory. Let me explain. The Kinefinity Eagle EVF features a rosette with 1/4-20 female attachment point, which is incompatible with the standard ARRI Rosette M6 screw, making it impossible to connect to my Bright Tangerine Axle EVF mount, or any ARRI Rosette EVF mount for that matter. So, what's a boy to do? Well, you can either shell out another $100+ for their proprietary mini mount, or you can stick it to the man by unscrewing their proprietary rosette, picking up an $8 standard ARRI rosette, and tapping two 3x32-inch holes with your drill press, essentially making the Eagle EVF compatible with all standard ARRI rosette mounts. You're welcome. And in case you're wondering, I did reach out to customer support, and they were extremely unhelpful. They offered zero solutions, which is problematic since I'm not the only person to encounter this issue. Newsshooter.com wrote all about it. While on the topic of I/O, it bears mentioning that the Eagle EVF's connection options are anemic, with only a single 3G SDI port capable of 1080p 60 SDI input, a single USB-C port reserved for firmware updates, and a single 5-pin to D-tap power connector. But where's the second SDI or HDMI port, you ask? Well, they're not here, and while I admit this is a bummer and possibly a deal breaker for some of you, it's understandable when you consider the price point of this device. And if I'm being really honest, this isn't that big of a deal, since I would still use this with an external monitor that has all the I/O required when shooting with a crew. But what about that USB-C port? Sorry to break your heart once again, but this port is reserved for firmware updates only, no external video output or charging options. Another annoyance is the included cable. For some, this cable will be a dream since it combines power and video signal into one cable. But for others like myself, this cable is a pain in the ass since my SDI and DTAP are not next to one another. Hell, they aren't even in the same zip code, so prepare to order a custom power cable from Alvin's Cable. When it comes to usability, the Eagle EVF is by and large a dream to operate. From the inclusion of an on-off switch to 5 shortcut keys to the thumbstick used to navigate the menus, the Eagle EVF gets high marks for placement, usability, and tactility. Hell, it even has a run-stop feature, but I was unable to test this since it's only supported by select cameras. And before I forget, it even has a tally light placed behind the logo, which is seriously cool. On the OS side of the house, this EVF provides all the monitoring tools your heart desires. Waveform, vector scope, histogram, focus peaking, false color, zebra, it's all there. And one other thing I discovered was navigating the menus was zippy. No, not you, Clippy. Go torture some other Microsoft Office employee. If there is one major oversight in the OS department, it's the inability to load custom LUTs. Obviously, this can be handled on camera, but it is a pain if you want to monitor log on your camera and view a finished look in the EVF. Obviously, we can't have a conversation about the Kinefinity without acknowledging the alternative EVFs currently on the market. But the current offerings in the market have either been limited to either the relatively inexpensive port keys or the higher end offerings from Zacuto. So basically, picking up an EVF right now feels like the Three Little Bears, with the Kinefinity Eagle being just right, with its perfect balance between features and cost. And since I know someone in the comment section will ask, have you modded your port keys? Yes, I have. And when comparing the modded port keys to the Eagle still beats out the modded port keys, since picking up the necessary pieces to mod this thing, it all adds up. And even after doing all that, the quality is still not comparable, since the port keys lacks the micro OLED screen. The only area this thing actually wins is in screen size, since it's being magnified by the Zacuto diopter. So, what's the final verdict on the Kinefinity Eagle SDI Viewfinder? In one word, impressive. It's got most of the bells and whistles you need to up your game, wrapped up in a compact, user-friendly package. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this viewfinder is going to make your life a whole lot easier and your shots a whole lot sharper. Just do yourself a favor and pick up the mini mount or warm up that drill press. Found this review helpful? Maybe I missed something. Let me know all about it in the comment section below. But more importantly, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell so you're notified when I drop another banger of an episode. See you guys next time.